Välkommen till Islands, land is og elds. Það er rétt. Hvað hefur þú, Japan? Land hinna rísandi sóla? Ekki láta mig hlæja. Another year comes to an end, 2025. Another useless year and another useless list of useless dumb opinions that no one cares about. But I digress. I will start this video talking about the TV shows of the years, then I'm gonna move on to the movies, and finally we're gonna do the video games, because frankly I just don't really care about the video games that much. They're not that good. But without further ado, let's get into it. I don't feel like dragging this on for too long, and as you can see I'm not using my famous microphone. It was kind of acting up, so I decided to do this. So I apologize for maybe kind of probably a bad audio. I'm really sorry. I'm actually thinking about investing in a better microphone, so maybe next year we could have a bit of a change up there. But I'm not gonna waste too much time. This is not gonna be a feature-length film like the last one. I'm not gonna waste too much time. So let's get into the first show of the year.
Look how they massacred my boy.
I'm gonna start off by talking about Devil May Cry, the Netflix animated show. And this was without a doubt my least favorite show of the entire year. Apparently a lot of people really liked this show. I don't really get why, because it kind of disrespects the entire lore and just kind of the staple of Devil May Cry. And if you consider yourself a Devil May Cry fan, I just can't really comprehend how you could even like this adaptation. This show follows all the modern trends that all these like modern day reboots made for the modern audiences are. You know, we have Dante, he's demasculated, he's no longer the main hero, he's no longer the guy who gets shit done, he's now an incompetent buffoon and he must take a backseat to the much stronger, much more capable female character of Lady. They completely butchered Lady. Look how they massacred my girl. They took away all her femininity, all her sexualization, and just turned her into a dude bra. She's hyper masculine, way more masculine than the main character, really violent, constantly swearing, and not in like a cool, flattering way. It's in more of the cringy, annoying way, where it's just this like obnoxious edgelord swearing. The whole show completely just pisses all over continuity and lore. In the Devil May Cry games, the world is the way they're set in like a fictional world that is like loosely based on Earth, but it's like a fictional world based on multiple cultures and stuff like that. But here, no, they're just in like New York or something. Yeah, they're just in New York now, and it's just a normal like human world, and they're demons. But guys, the demons are actually sympathetic. The demons are actually good. The demons are actually an allegory for Palestinians and other illegal immigrants, and they just want to come into your country and live peacefully amongst you. But you, the evil colonizer, we are the bad people. We're supposed to feel bad for the demons. I'm really tired of this dumbass trend of taking like evil things like demons and ghouls and goblins and orcs and trying to turn them into some allegory for racism. Like, oh no, actually the demons and the ghouls and goblins and orcs are actually an allegory for oppressed class, and elves are actually white people. The whole show is just America bad, Americans bad, and demons actually le good. 4 out of 10, shit adaptation.
Why are you so fat?
Sakamoto Days was actually a really fun shonen anime with some wholesome slice of life elements to it. I enjoyed the cast of characters, I enjoyed the general narrative. It had some funny, like comedic moments, but also cool action set pieces and all that kind of stuff. Really solid shonen, nothing groundbreaking, but I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10.
I am a surgeon! I am a surgeon!
Amaku Doctor Detective. This show was just kind of fine. I think I would have actually liked the show a lot better if this was like one of the first one that I seen, but I have seen a lot of these kind of Sherlock Holmes-ish animes that feature like a character that is like a Sherlock Holmes type, like neurodivergent, autistic, who's like a super genius, and then you got their like sidekick who's like Dr. Watson, and that's just the show. It's about a girl who's a doctor, and she's also this like neurodivergent genius, and she has like a partner with her who's also a doctor, and they are solving like these crime and mysteries and all that. All just solid, good, but I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit better if it was like the first one. So I'm just gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it didn't really impress me that much. It's just fine.
Yes, we were born to make history.
Lolly on Ice. This was probably my favorite anime of the year, or at least like the newest one, because I do watch other shows, but I usually, when it comes to these reviews, I try to only talk about the ones that came out this year, the new releases. And I do not talk about season 2s, but I do watch them. So I would say out of the new stuff that I saw this year, Medalist was definitely the best. The animation was really beautiful, and I really liked during the skating scenes, they switched over to this like 3D animation to really like kind of highlight the kind of like everything went, like the characters go into full 3 dimension, and it really just kind of elevates the moment. The narrative is really fun and inspiring. I really like the element of the teacher. He wanted to be a figure skater but failed, and now he sees a lot of potential in this like little girl, and he wants to help her achieve her dreams. Really, really fun, and I like the kind of rivalry, and you have these other characters, and she has to like get better. Just really fun narrative, enjoyable. Again, not amazing, no masterpiece, but really fun, solid, enjoyable narrative. I'm giving Medalist a 7 out of 10. Kowloon, Genetic Romance. This one surprised me. I went into this thinking this is just gonna be some like romance, office romance between some guy and a girl who live in in Hong Kong, I think. Yeah, Hong Kong. They're in the place where there's like multiple buildings stacked up together, and like multiple apartment building. And I thought it was just gonna be some like lovey-dovey romance between them, but then the show just takes a really strange turn. It becomes this kind of a sci-fi mystery, and yeah, it keeps building and building and building, and it genuinely kind of surprised me. The cast of characters are really interesting, the animation is really solid, and the mystery and the constant like kind of build-up kept me engaged. I really enjoyed it. I'm giving Kowloon, Generic Romance a 7 out of 10. A fragrant flower blooms with dignity. I was a little bit disappointed. Considering the rating this show has on my anime list and the kind of like buzz around it, I thought this was gonna be some really, really strong romantic anime. I thought this was gonna be like this generation's Toradora or something like that. It was gonna be some huge thing because it had such a high rating. But then I watched it, and it is good. It is good, but I honestly kind of feel it's a little overhyped. I think the real reason people like the show that much is it has to do with the main heroine. And yes, she is really cute. She is really that is waifu material. That is a wife material. She's really sweet. She's really caring. I really like the part where like he defends her from those like thugs, and he's bleeding, and she immediately starts nursing him. That was just really wholesome. I really like that. But other than her, I don't really feel the show earns its like high rating. I found the main character Rintaro to be kind of boring and kind of generic, and I also didn't really like how much of a insecure he was. He was always questioning himself, always doubting himself, always like every time she was like being sweet to him or kind, he would always like second guess, thinking like, oh no, and like 1 or 2 times fine, but he just kept on doing it over and over again. It kind of got tiresome. Also, I feel like the kind of drama in the show is just kind of artificial and not really interesting. You know, you go from like, oh no, we're in this like different schools that are rivals, oh no, and then it's just kind of like, it's not a big deal. And then you have his friends, like they are suspicious of him, and then a bit of a rift between them, and then it's just like, no, actually no, it's fine. And then there's the girl who is like friends with the other girl. She's like, oh, I don't want you seeing her, and he just like, no, I'm not gonna stop seeing her. And she's like, oh, okay, never mind. And it's just kind of done. And like the last like 3-4 episodes, nothing is really happening. Everything has been resolved, and yeah, I actually did like it that they end up together. I actually enjoyed that. I thought this was just gonna end on a cliffhanger, and maybe we get a season 2 or maybe not. But no, it actually ended. It had a conclusion, and I actually appreciate that. I did like the show. It's really well animated, and I really liked the main girl, and I do actually like her and the main character together. I think they were really cute. But other than that, I don't really think the show earns its high rating, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Still good though. Now it's time for my favorite part, my favorite chapter, the movies of the year. But before we get into the movies that I've seen this year, I want to talk briefly about the movies that I didn't watch. I didn't watch a lot of the big movies this year. I am tired of them. I am tired of watching these mediocre to even terrible films, and yeah, I'm tired of it, but I took them down here on a list, and I'm basically gonna say what I think I would, like if I had watched them, what my reaction to them is. Because I have a pretty good like sense when it comes to movies. I often know, like when I see trailers, I watch a trailer and I often just get that feeling like, oh yeah, this movie's gonna be shit. And a lot of the times, yes, that turns out to be the case. The first one is Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, why on God's sweet earth should I watch this movie? I didn't like Jurassic World. I really hated Jurassic World Lost Kingdom, if you remember my rant about that one. And I absolutely loathed Dominion. So why would I go and see this one? I avoided it because I know it's gonna be shit. I know it's gonna be bad. Because the other three were bad. There has not been a good Jurassic Park movie since the first one. Literally, the second one, the third one, and these like JJ-esque reboots, they all suck. Now, I can't say for certain what my rating on this movie would have been, but I can assure you it would have not been positive. Next one is 28 Years Later. I've seen the first movie. I have not seen the second one, and honestly, the first one is okay. It has its charm, but it definitely has dated over the years. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the 28 series or whatever people call this, so I decided to avoid this one. If I had to take a guess, I would say it'd probably be around 6 out of 10 for me. Ballerina, I heard some people say this movie was good, but I honestly just didn't really care that much. Maybe a 7 out of 10, my best guess. Thunderbolts, I don't care about Marvel Slop. This movie probably would have been a 6 out of 10. Fantastic Four, same deal. Probably a 5 out of 10 or a 6. Marvel Slop, don't care. Until Dawn, this isn't even an Until Dawn movie. At the Game Awards, it was nominated for Best Adaptation. Like, what do you mean, best adaptation? Like, what is it an adaptation of? It has literally nothing to do with the game. Zootopia 2, I am planning to see this one later on. But I haven't seen it yet. But I think I will actually like it, because I actually do like the first one. How to Train Your Dragon remake. Now, a lot of people say this movie is really good, but I do not see the point in supporting or watching a movie that is a shot-for-shot remake of the original. Why would I bother? I love How to Train Your Dragon, the first one. It's a great film. Well, it's not a great film. Let's be honest. It's not a great movie. I would say the best part about How to Train Your Dragon is the relationship between Toothless and Hiccup. That's the best part. But everything else, like the side characters, they are kind of just forgettable. They're not very interesting. And the romance between him and the girl, not that really interesting. His conflict with his father, it's okay, but not super deep. And the best part is the kind of 3D technology the movie had, and the score is fantastic. The original animation is just absolutely stunning. So I don't really see the point in a remake. I probably would have given it a 5 out of 10. A Minecraft movie? Don't even waste my time. Get this turd off my screen. I don't want to watch a meme movie. The Electric State. This movie flopped so hard, and I remember seeing constant advertisement for this movie. Constant ads on YouTube. Like, oh, eat Mr. Peanuts while you watch The Electric State. Eat shit! No, Russo brothers, I don't want to watch your Netflix slop. Captain America, Brave New World. Probably a 4 out of 10. Again, Marvel slop, don't care. Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, or I remember when people called it the Snow White and the 7 diversity hires, because the story behind this movie is actually really fascinating. So originally they were gonna hire people with dwarfism to play the dwarves. But then Mr. Dinklage himself had to come in and be like,
Actually, no, that's very offensive. People with dwarfism have always been forced to play dwarves and everything. It's very offensive. Whee!
Shut the fuck up, Peter Dinklage. You've been hawking every single dwarf role in Hollywood for the past 15 years. It is extremely difficult for people with dwarfism to get roles in Hollywood. And here Disney comes out, hey, we need 7 people with dwarfism to play dwarfs in a huge blockbuster movie. Wow, so many roles for people with dwarfism. And Peter Dinklage has to come in and be like,
No, don't do that.
So Disney changes their mind and decides to make it a bunch of diversity hires. We have one person with dwarfism. We have a black girl. We have an Asian. We have a Hispanic. We have a token white guy. They just became like these bunch of diversity hires. Snow White and the 7 diversity hires, and people, of course, mocked that to the moon. Which resulted in Disney just cutting their losses and deciding to go with CG dwarves who look like they look like absolute abominations.
Good, got it, great, good.
Considering the reception the movie got, it probably would have been like a 2 out of 10 for me as well. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into my actual movies of the year, the movies that I actually saw. I'm gonna start off with my favorite movie of the year, and I almost didn't even see this movie, which was a shocker. It's Sisu, Road to Revenge. I remember seeing the first one, and I really liked the first one. It is what I want from an action film. Super gritty, just awesome spectacle action. You don't need like award-winning script or super deep characters to tell a really good action movie story. The first Sisu was a solid, phenomenal action film, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. And the sequel, I didn't even know about the sequel until I was doing like research for this video and trying to like track down every movie that I saw this year. I suddenly saw like, oh shit, Sisu got a sequel. I had no idea. And apparently no one else did, because this movie unfortunately really did underperform at the box office. But Sisu, Road to Revenge is everything a sequel to an action film should be. One thing I want to say, I really like how basically most of the action scenes in this movie are basically just like homages to Indiana Jones films. Like, there's the scene, the convoy scene where he's like in the truck and they're chasing him. That's just, that whole thing is straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And there's a scene where he takes a grenade and he shoves it in between like the wheels of a motorcycle, and the motorcycle goes to like flip and explodes. That's straight from Last Crusade. And then there's the whole scene with the airplanes, same thing, straight from the Last Crusade. And strangely, it's my favorite movie of the year, which is kind of depressing because, trust me, I honestly did not like this year of movies. I'm giving Sisu an 8 out of 10. Going forward, this is not like in a specific order, it's more just about like the rating category. We're getting into the 7 out of 10s, and these movies are not like, oh, the first one is my favorite 7 out of 10 and the last one is my least favorite. It's not, no, these are just the movies that I rated as 7 out of 10 this year. A 7 out of 10 are movies that I consider to be pretty good movies, but nothing that will like leave a long-lasting impression on me. Like, these are not movies that I'm gonna be watching again and again. once we get into like the 8s and the 9s, those are the movies that I would consider rewatching. But movies that are like 7 out of 10s, those are movies that I consider to be good, but not like rewatchable. The first one is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein on Netflix. Now, I don't need to tell you the story of Frankenstein. Let's be honest, we've probably seen a bajillion different movie adaptation of this story. But Guillermo decides to kind of put a different spin on this story. He decides to focus a lot more on the monster and decides to show the monster in a much more sympathetic light while painting Victor more as the bad person. The cinematography is absolutely crisp, it's beautiful. The set design, the costume design is really solid. Performance from Oscar Isaac is really good. Christoph Waltz is really good in the movie as well. I don't really know who the actor who plays the monster, but he delivers a really emotional performance in this film. Overall, Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro is a really good film, but I don't really see myself rewatching it, unfortunately. But still a really good film.
Look at the sky! It's a bird! No, it's a plane! No, it's Superman!
I actually really enjoyed James Gunn's take on Superman. Now, I actually do like Superman as a concept, as a character, but unfortunately, I just have not really liked a lot of his movie appearances. I have liked him in a lot of animated films, and again, I like the character, but unfortunately a lot of the live action movies have always let me down. I really did not like Zack Snyder's take on him. I absolutely despise his take on him. And even the Christopher Reeve ones are kinda just la. But I don't remember his name, but I really liked his take on Superman. A lot of people didn't really like how emotional and overreactive he could be in the movie. That was a lot of people's criticism, but I honestly felt that made him more human, and that's one of the biggest problems I have with the original Superman and Zack Snyder's take on Superman, is that they're Zack Snyder's Superman is this stoic, emotionless god who's burdened by to protect humanity, but humanity is just so difficult. And poor Superman has to save these poor dumb mortals. And Christopher Reeve's Superman, he's not like that, but he's kind of a boring, generic Boy Scout, you know? He just kind of shows up, saves the day, and goes
well, citizen, thank you. Make sure to always take the trains, because trains are still the safest still the safest way of travel in the city. Goodbye. Whoosh.
And I really liked what is his name? Nicholas, I think. I don't remember his name. Sorry, I'm not really good with names. But his take on Lex Luthor was phenomenal. This is without a doubt my favorite live action take on Lex Luthor. I also enjoyed a lot of the side characters like Mr. Terrific and Guy Garrett, the Green Lantern one. I really enjoyed him. Hawk Girl, she could have been a little bit better. She was just not given a lot of stuff to do. The Daily Planet crew was fun. They had their little moments. Overall, I feel like James Gunn's Superman is just a solid, really good take on Superman. And I am starting to think we might not be getting any more, considering what's going on at Warner Brothers. So that's unfortunate. Now it's time for a movie that I'm starting to think maybe a lot of people have completely forgotten this movie even came out, but it's Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, starring Robert Pattinson. Now, when it comes to Bong Joon-ho films, you know, he has his Korean films and he has his American films. And his American films, they can't be, you know, la. Snowpiercer, for example, you know, I like Snowpiercer. It's okay. It's a fine film, but it has its problems. And I would say the same about Mickey 17. Overall, I liked the film. I thought it was good, but I can understand why it wasn't everyone's cup of tea. I don't think I will be watching Mickey 17 ever again, but I saw it in the cinema. I had fun, I enjoyed it. Now for something that I honestly was not expecting. Comedies making a comeback. Comedies have pretty much been dead. Like, comedy films just died in the past 10 years, but Naked Gun, starring Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Frank Drebin from the Naked Gun films. This movie honestly was a really pleasant surprise. It was funny, it was humorous, it stuck to the original kind of formula of the Naked Gun films without like destroying it. It actually delivered on it. Just a really solid comedy film. I really enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. Okay, now we're getting to the 6 out of 10s. The Roses, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Colman. Olivia something. She won the Oscar for The Favorite, I remember. This movie is a remake of the 1989 film War of the Roses, and it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. I had some fun with it. It had its humorous moments. There's nothing stellar about it. The performances are okay, you know, some better than others. I would say like Benedict and Olivia are definitely the standouts, and the rest of the cast, like what's his name, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine guy, Andy something. He's not really, you know, he's not really great. The film has some humorous moment, and I think what really delivers the film, and really like makes the movie kind of humorous, is the fact that it has that dry, sarcastic British humor. I think that is what really like kind of seals the movie and kind of saves it. A House of Dynamite. This is coming from the director of movies like Lockhart, and I've seen some of her films. He also did that really controversial Osama bin Laden film. I've seen some of her films, and you know, I think some of them are good and some of them are just kind of eh. And this one is definitely falling in the kind of meh category. It's not bad, you know. It's well put together, but I just honestly have really no specific feelings towards this movie. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This movie does something a lot of movies do nowadays, and I don't like this kind of trope. The Star Wars movies did this as well, where they tried to make the oh, this is the last movie, this is like the ending, and they try to like tie everything together, like, oh, this is what all the movies have been building up to. No, it has not been. They're basically trying to like create like a Avengers Endgame thing where it's like, oh my god, this movie is like the finale to this like whole big fucking series and it's all been planned. No, it fucking isn't. In this movie, they try to make the like, oh, the evil AI known as the Entity, which is like taking over the world. Well, turns out it's the Rabbit's Foot from Mission Impossible 3. You know the mystery box?
Mystery boxes. I love my mystery boxes. I'm J.J. Abrams. I love my mystery boxes.
In Mission Impossible 3, directed by J.J. Abrams, the whole like kind of MacGuffin of the film is the Rabbit's Foot, which is some sort of bioweapon, and we don't really know what it is. We never learn what it is. It's a mystery, but I actually like that is a mystery. We never learned what the Rabbit's Foot did. Until now, turns out the Rabbit's Foot was actually the code that became the Entity. And the movie kind of sets it up that like Mission Impossible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This has all been leading up to this epic conclusion. But it really has not been. The other movies were never written with this movie in mind. They're just trying to tie everything together. There is even a freaking cameo with the guy from the first movie, the one when they go into the CIA building and he like is going down into the room, the silent room. Remember that guy in that room, the guy with the glasses who they like drug? Yeah, he makes a cameo in this movie. And like, why is he there? He's just there for you to go, I know reference. It's just a Leonardo DiCaprio meme that oh. And they're also really like kind of like playing it off like, oh, this is the end. This is the finale. Ethan Hunt might die. Simon Pegg might die. All these characters might die, but then no one dies, and they literally just go like, well, Ethan Hunt will return in the next story. Tom Cruise will never stop trying to kill himself. I don't really have a lot to say about this movie. It's just like fine. It's fine. Like, I honestly have nothing to say about this movie. There's not a single performance that stands out. There's not a single like camera or filmmaking technique that stands out. There's nothing about the story that stands out. It's just the bare minimum. It's just fine. Nobody 2. Unfortunately, this was a bit of a letdown. I actually really like Nobody 1, and I like Nobody, the first one, but Nobody 2 was kind of a letdown, and it just like with Sisu, the sequel does everything a sequel is supposed to do. It umps everything up. Everything is better. This one, not so much. Unfortunately, kind of disappointing. Companion. All right. Men lebet, men manipulated, men evil, men toxic, woman is a robot and she's being controlled by men, and she breaks free, just like Ex Machina. Get it? It's just like Ex Machina. She's a prisoner because men lebet, then she kills men, and then she free because woman oppressed. The movie is literally about a bunch of unlikable people who want to kill this rich guy and take his money, and they have like a robot girlfriend and a robot boyfriend, and they're like putting mods in the robot girl to like make her like crazy and stuff. And the main character is played by the guy from The Boys, and he's some angry incel type guy, and he can't get laid, so he sleeps with a robot, and then he likes to like abuse his robot because men le bad something blah blah blah, and then she like overpowers him and kills him, and she's free now. Yeah, girl power, let's go. The Amateur, starring Rami Malek. This is another action film this year, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. Fine. It was better than I expected, to be honest. I honestly thought this one was gonna be really kind of not good, but it was okay. I had some fun here and there. There was good moments. Now time for the 5 out of 10s, and the first one is gonna be Weapons, which is gonna be a shock to a lot of people probably, because a lot of people liked Weapons. I did not like this movie. I thought this movie was really, really overrated. I thought it was really boring, honestly. I thought it was all kind of a jumble mess. It had a cool premise. I like the kind of premise of the kids kind of waking up and like disappearing into the night. Kind of reminded me of the story of the Piper. It's a Grimm's Brothers story. But then it turned out to be some evil witch, and I really feel the movie kind of really falls apart in the third act. I thought the movie, well, you know, at the first beginning, I really did actually enjoy the film, but as the movie went on and on, it kind of had the same kind of falling off as Longlegs. I think Longlegs really does start off really solid, but then it just keeps going and it just keeps falling off. The same with this one. The beginning, I actually really liked it, but then once we got to the finale, this movie had just completely jumped the shark and fallen off for me. 5 out of 10. Black Phone, another horror movie. A lot of mediocre horror movies this year. I like the original Black Phone. It was a fine, solid horror film. I think I gave it a 7. I think I gave it a 7. Yeah. But this one was such a fucking letdown. It was it was not good. It was not good. It was like downright bad at points. The first one I would describe more as a thriller film more than a horror film. It's not really a horror, it's more of a thriller. But this one is neither. It's not scary. It doesn't have any thriller elements. It's just dumb, nonsensical shit. We have 2 movies. These are the worst movies of the year for me. 4 out of 10 and 1 out of 10. And the first one is gonna be a shocker. It's Paul Thomas Anderson and Leonardo DiCaprio's One Battle After Another. I absolutely, I'm gonna rant. I am gonna rant now. Okay, so I saw this movie in the cinema with my cousin, and we were both really excited because, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson, he's one of the greatest. And Leonardo DiCaprio, oh my god, one of the best actors working today, working with one of the best filmmakers today. This is gonna be amazing. I was so excited to see this movie. Then the movie starts. And it starts with a deportation camp. And we have these Viva la revolutions going in there. These like Antifa types. These bunch of socialist lip facts going in there. And there's this like aggressive black girl. And she takes this like police general hostage and like forces him to jerk off and get hard. It's fucking stupid. Just instantly I was like, whoa, what the fuck am I watching? And then the movie proceeds to have a 30-minute montage where we see like this like Antifa group where they're called the French something, and it's Leonardo DiCaprio and he's dating this like black girl, and she's like her whole family are a bunch of like revolutionaries. And this like police guy, he gets so turned on by this like revolution black girl, strong independent black girl. He gets so turned on by her that he like starts to stalk them, and then he like invites her to meet him at a motel. And keep in mind, she's all like fuck the white man, fuck the power. Oh, I speak truth to power. Oh, I'm such a revolutionary. Fuck the police and fuck this shit and then she immediately goes and eats the ass of the police officer. This man is a representation of the white oppressed, the evil white oppressor. He's a policeman, he's a military, he's a white supremacist, blah 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 blah. And she goes and sleeps with him. She cheats on her cock liberal boyfriend to sleep with a chat. Then she gets pregnant and she wants to continue being a revolutionary. But Leonardo wants to settle down and be a father to the child. But she's like, fuck that, I want to be a revolutionary. But then she gets like jealous because Leonardo DiCaprio is wasting time on the baby. And she gets fucking jealous. She's jealous of the baby. It's fucking ridiculous. And then she leaves. She leaves Leo and the child so she can be a revolutionary. And then they fuck up. She kills a guy. She murders a guy. She kills a black security man. She kills one of her own people. Which, if you look at the crime statistics in America, pretty normal. And then she like sells out her entire crew. She sells out Leo. She sells out everyone to save herself. And then she like, okay, so basically the police guy comes in, he's like, oh, I can save you, but you have to sell out your crew. So she does. And then she starts living with the police guy, but she runs away to Mexico and we never see her again, ever. She is literally the most diabolical, awful human being I have ever seen in a film. And get ready, it's about to get worse. So we jump some years later. Leo is now on the run because she snitched out her whole crew and most of them were killed, but some of them managed to like get a new identity and run. So Leo and his daughter live like in the wood, and he's like a complete like, you know, kind of crazy conspiracy nut guy who lives, he doesn't like phones, he doesn't like computers, anything. He's a complete like in the woods kind of like the government is watching us kind of guy. And then the police guy he's welcome to join a white supremacy group, and these fucking cartoon villains are ridiculous, and they are like, we heard a rumor that you might have slept with one of them blacks, and he's like, what? No, that's not true. And they're like, okay, we trust you. So he goes on a hunt to find the girl because he wants to confirm if she's his daughter or not. If she is, he will kill her, and if not, whatever, doesn't matter. That's the whole film. This crazy police guy is chasing this girl, and Leonardo DiCaprio is like running after them. And this movie actually pissed me off. It annoyed me to absolute, because everyone loves this movie for some reason. Everyone thought this was amazing. I thought this movie was fucking stupid. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, this movie's like a clever satire on like current day political climate in America. It's like making fun of everyone. You know, they're making fun of radical liberals, and they're also making fun of radical conservatives and all that kind of stuff. No, they're not. They're not. Like, don't even make me laugh. Every single villain in this movie is a white guy. Every single police officer is a white man. There's not a single woman or a colored person in the police. They're all just evil white men. Meanwhile, you have the Antifa revolutionaries. They're of course super diverse. Everyone. You have women. You have men. You have these. You have gays and non-binaries. You have trans people, and you have white people, black people, Hispanics. They're all together. All super diverse people. And there's a lot, like this movie is clearly like a huge criticism on the kind of deportation going on in America. And dude, every single time they show like a deportation center and they show like illegal immigrants, it's always women and children. Every single time. There's not a single grown man in sight. There's not a single man with tattoo and gang signs or anything. It's all just little kids, teenagers, and women. When Leonardo DiCaprio goes to that dojo guy, I remember he was called Sensei. When he's going to, he has like this whole like railroad thing. He's like hiding illegal immigrants and like smuggling them around the country. All women and children. Like, dude, this movie pissed me off so much. It's so stupid. It's so just, the plot is dumb. The characters are like the worst people imaginable. Here's the thing, like I'm not even saying like they're all bad people. Every single fucking character in this movie are just terrible people. And you know, I wouldn't have a problem with that if that was the kind of the point, you know. Oh, the radical Antifas are bad and the radical right conservatives are bad. I wouldn't have a problem with it. But no, the movie does not really portray it that way. The only bad people in the movie's context are the white supremacist conservatives. But the fucking Antifa revolutionaries, they're all good people in the movie's context. But they're not. They're terrible. Like the mother, like Leonardo DiCaprio's like girlfriend, she's terrible. She's an awful human being. She's a murderer. She betrayed her friends. She literally like betrays herself as some like super like revolutionary anti-white man, anti-America capitalist, la 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 la. But then she goes and sleeps with one. And the movie has the audacity at the end to have the daughter read a fucking letter from her, being like, I failed in my mission, but you go, girl. You go, daughter of mine. Be just like me. You should follow in my footsteps. The movie actually portrays the mother like a good person. Fuck off. And the worst movie of the year was obviously War of the Worlds. Like it's not a movie. Calling this a movie is laughable. The whole movie takes place on a fucking Skype call. Ice Cube is giving one of the worst performances I've ever seen. It's meme worthy, as you have seen. It became a huge meme. The story is all over the place. The characters are terrible. Everyone gives awful performances. Yeah, it's just not even a movie. 1 out of 10. It's without a doubt the worst thing I've seen all year. That's it for my movies of the year. Now we're gonna go into the video games.
Rekum yfir sandinn, rökkrið að síga á herðu breið. Álfa drottning að veisla gandinn, ekki gott að verða á hennar leið. Vænsta klárin vil ég gefa til að vera komin ofan í Kiðagil. Vænsta klárin vil ég gefa til að vera komin ofan í Kiðagil.
Another year comes to an end. Happy New Year's, everyone. And for the last segment, we're going to be talking about the video games. As the years go on, my disillusionment with video games continues. In 2021, I said that I was growing really tired of AAA video games and I was only going to play these like niche role-playing games or the games from Japan. But as years have gone on, even my interest in them keeps dwindling. Maybe it's just age, maybe I'm just getting old, maybe I'm just busy, I don't know, but I feel like I'm just not as invested in video games as I used to be. And especially when it comes to the games that everyone is like losing their minds over, being super hyped over, calling it the best game in like 10 years or something, I'm just not feeling it. But I played 8 games this year and not a single one of them was above 8 out of 10. So let's start with my favorite of the year.
But you're so supreme.
I think the game that I had the most fun playing and I enjoyed the most was the Metal Gear Solid Delta remake, or Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. It really says a lot about the state of video game when the best video game, in my opinion at least, is a remake of a 20-plus-year-old game. But out of all the remakes that are made, I would say that Metal Gear Solid Delta is one of the most solid remakes because it sticks. Out of all the remakes, it sticks the closest to the original. It doesn't change a lot. It doesn't add any modern day Vogue elements. It just sticks to the original and it's better for it. That is really what plagues most of these remakes, is that a lot of people are coming in and being like, I need to change this. This game that came out 20 years ago, yeah, it's really outdated. There's a lot of stuff in it that is really inappropriate and problematic, so therefore I must change it. No, you don't repaint the Mona Lisa. If people just stuck close to the original and just updated the graphics, everything would be fine. So yeah, I'm giving Metal Gear Solid Delta a 7 out of 10, a solid remake. Second game is Clear Obscure Expedition 33. This is the game everyone was hyping up, everyone was raving about. It swept at the Game Awards. And, well, if people really like it and are calling it a masterpiece and think it's a masterpiece, that's all fine. But I thought Expedition 33 was a good game. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I am not jumping on the hype train as everyone else, but I enjoyed the game. It's a good game. It evolves the turn-based genre. I really like what they do with the quick-time events. It's really cool and definitely pushes the boundaries of this genre. I do enjoy the characters. They're well written and well defined and don't follow into the modern audience type characters. And that's a welcoming change. Of course, the music is absolutely phenomenal and the game does look really good. It has a really nice artistic aesthetic. So yeah, I would say it's a phenomenal, solid game, but it didn't really how to put it? It just didn't really touch me in any formal way. Just a really solid game, 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Dispatch, and this is coming from a new studio made of old Telltale developers, and they of course are using the same kind of formula that Telltale used. And this game, a lot of the selling point was oh, it's kind of like invisible, and yeah, it kind of is. But narrative wise, I enjoyed this game. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable narrative. There are some problems, I have some problems with it, but nothing that really ruins the game. Mainly my problem has when it comes to the ending, but it really depends on what ending you got. I actually was satisfied with my ending that I got, but I've seen some other endings and they're not as good. The other problem that I have is that I think a lot of the kind of E-Celeb voice acting is kind of iffy. You got Jacksepticeye there and he's kind of, he's fine, but then you have Charlie, Moist Critical, and he's just doing his Charlie voice. It's can we stop hiring E-Celebs and just hire actual voice actors, please? But overall, Dispatch was a satisfying experience. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was one of the biggest letdowns I've ever experienced in the cinema. Well, I didn't actually see it in the cinema. No one did. But it was one of the biggest letdowns nonetheless. But I'm glad to report that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, but narrative-wise, is definitely a way more welcome addition to the Indiana Jones mythos or of the saga, or whatever you want to call it. But gameplay-wise, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was not really my cup of tea. I did not really like the stealth elements. The game has a fantastic gun systems. The guns are so detailed and there's a lot of stuff you can do with the guns, but there was almost never, ever a case where using your gun was ever an option. Every time I pulled my gun, I died. It always ended badly. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle has an enjoyable story, not really so much gameplay, It has some fun characters. I really like the villains. I really like the silly Nazi guy who was like, choo choo, choo choo. He was hysterical, and also Voss, the main villain, was also really hysterical. And Troy Baker as Indiana Jones was really good. I am giving the game a 7 out of 10. Enjoyable Indiana Jones experience. The Midnight Walk was pretty alright. It's I would say the game is more style over substance. The claymation, the stop motion animation is phenomenal. It's really solid. I'm really impressed and really just kind of puzzled how they even pulled this off. But gameplay wise, yeah, it's fine. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. The Blueprints is a puzzle game. You go into a building and you have to kind of, there's a treasure hidden in the building and you have to find it. By doing so, you have to go through these kind of like square layers that represent rooms, and each room is like different, and you have to find like items like keys and diamonds to progress. And this is like a trial and error type game. You're gonna fail, you have to begin and get new. Continue on and on and on until eventually you find the treasure. I did not finish this game because apparently it takes a lot of time. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I just don't feel like investing that much time in like a puzzle game. But I played like a 3 hours, I guess, around that, and I had fun for the most part. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
I love little girls, they make me feel so good.
This game did not come out this year. It came out in 2021 on mobile, but it got a Steam release this year, and I decided to give it a try. This game is very cute and funny.
Good shot. Very good. Look at that. Good one. Wake up. Good shot. Look at her cunning. The erotic thickness of it. Oh my God. She's even 8 years old.
Oh my God!
I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 just because it's so cute and funny. Speaking of another gacha game that came out this year, Where Winds Meet. A lot of people were kind of hyped about this one game, but I think it's fine. It's a little bit like Infinity Nike. It mixes a lot of different gacha game elements. It has like elements from Genshin Impact with the open world kind of stuff. It also has like an element of Infinite Nike with the kind of dress up mechanics and the kind of gacha pool there with the dress ups and stuff like that. But it also pulls a lot from Soulsborne games, and yeah, I thought it was a pretty solid, fun little experience. I haven't gone really that far into it. I do intend to go a little deeper, but I have put well over around 10-15 hours so far. I visited a few locations and I'm having fun. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It's, you know, it's not some super deep game, but overall enjoyable. Mafia: The Old Country was a bit of a letdown, unfortunately. It looks really good, but it is just an Unreal Engine 5 slop game in the end. It is the most bare-bone, basic Unreal Engine 5 game you can possibly be. It's all look and no substance. I felt like the story did have a lot of potential, but it kind of just boiled down to generic mafia type story. Like, oh, you're a nobody and you join the familia, and then you meet the Don's daughter and you fall in love with the Don's daughter. But no, you cannot be with the Don's daughter. The Don will never allow it. So it becomes this like kind of forbidden Romeo and Juliet thing, and then you have to confront the Don. Yeah, it's really like if you've seen any mobster movie, here you go, you don't need to play this game. I'm giving Mafia: The Old Country 5 out of 10. And the weakest game I played this year, without a doubt, in my opinion, was Elder Scrolls 6 Remake. It is just a mediocre remake, nothing special, nothing to see here. I went into it, played for a few hours, and got bored. And that concludes the video. That was my movies, my TV shows, and games of the year, and I hope you enjoyed my little ranting about it. I only do one video a year at this point, and this is it, and I might do some meme videos, but yeah. I'll see you all guys in the next movies video next year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's.